How's it going, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and I've got a stock to talk about here that I haven't talked about in a while, and it's going to be Valens. Now, this one did run up to $10. It has since dropped down. We're right here at that 770 range. I think it's a great place to buy, and we do have some recent news, and I'm also going to go over some analysts at tip ranks. Then we're going to check out the chart. So I already tried to record this, but my recording software was acting up. So if you appreciate the effort, make sure you like and subscribe. I do put out videos every single day. And if you didn't check out my previous video today, I do cover some stocks I haven't covered before. And it is a longer video. I also go over cryptos, but I do appreciate it. And let's get into Valens here. And take note, if you sometimes if you search up VLN, it'll come up with the Canadian ticker. But just search up VLN on the New York Stock Exchange. That's going to be valens semiconductor. You could even just type in valens semiconductor stock. But looking at it real quick, we've got revenue increasing quarter over quarter. We've got some nice cash on hand. I do like that. And we're sitting at a market cap of about 800 million. Now, as you can see on the symbol chart, we've been getting pretty beaten up, but let's get into a couple things here. Now, first off, hopping over to tip ranks, we have got Valens at a $14 price target, giving us about an 80% upside. Pretty good stuff here. And we've got 5-star analysts covering it with a price target of 12 and up with a max of 20. And this guy is actually a very good analyst, 5-star. Now we've got some top tier analysts here, and we're going to get into the top one that actually gave a target about a month ago. So, I mean, that was the most recent price target we got with Valens. It is what it is. And this is a 5-star analyst that was ranked 31 out of 7,700 analysts on tip ranks. So he's in the top of the top. He's the cream of the crop. And we've got a success rate of 71%, giving us 283 out of 398 ratings being successful with an average return of 29%. Pretty great analyst here. Now, I want to go over some quick news, and then we're going to check out the chart, and I'm going to give you a couple of support levels and possible resistance levels. But first off, Valens Semiconductor and Sumitomo Electric collaborate on the MIPI AFI technology and deployments. Sumitomo is actually a pretty big company. They have 30%, it says right here. Okay, and it says right here that Sumitomo Electric is a world-class company with more than 30% market share in wire harness manufacturing and assembly. So they do have a pretty good size of market share in wire harness manufacturing, and what they're actually working on is AFI, and it's a connectivity infrastructure underlying the cars of tomorrow. And this is according to Hiroki of Sumitomo Electric, the general manager of CAS EV development. So they are involved in EVs, and they do say that it's important for us to make sure our cables meet the standards channel requirements. We're excited to help Valens, the leading provider of AFI compliant chipsets, bring additional flexibility to their evaluation kits and to provide a faster route towards the deployment of AFI by OEMs both in Japan and around the world. And when you look down here, Sumitomo Electric is actually a recognized global technology leader with over 280,000 employees working at more than 390 group companies in 40 countries. Building on over 120 years of innovation, today Sumitomo Electric is engaged in the diversified business activities that support people's daily lives, yada yada yada. But basically, this is good news for Valens to see that they're with a company that has a decent amount of market share in the harness industry. And keep note that Valens will feature Sumitomo Electric cables in a live AFI demonstration at the CES 2022. This is the biggest technology conference, I guess you could call it, in the world. So this is pretty big news, pretty good stuff. And yeah, definitely a reason to be bullish. I think this kind of flew under the radar. I mean, when you look at it, maybe it could have caused this little pop right here, but it seems like this news hasn't been soaked in. It seems like this news kind of flew under the radar, and that's the good thing about when there's really rough days in the market. Sometimes some great news completely goes unnoticed. But when you look at this here, you do see in this red zone, this is a zone of accumulation for me at least. Then the green zone would be a zone to sell, and I do like it where it's at. So just be aware though that if it does come down, it could come down to this 650 range potentially. I mean, it has before, so there's a possibility of it doing that again. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty low volume. And, you know, just keep an eye on it. It could potentially trade sideways. It could come down. Now, one way you could do this is you could always set a stop loss right under this price. Okay, and even with some, you don't have to do it with all of them, but if you wanted to use that strategy, you could set a stop loss on some right under this support here. So if it does drop, there's a big chance it could drop further if it doesn't get caught at the support. You could always go with some calls from the price where it's at. You could go with even some cash secured puts here, maybe in that $7 range. that's one way to go. But yeah, I mean, looking at it here where it's at, I think it is time for me to start accumulating this one again. I have since gotten out of my position a while ago, back when it was around the 10s. I kind of forgot about this one, but it is nice to see some recent news about it, and I do like the price that it's at. And like I said, you know, I'm very bullish on the semiconductor industry, stocks like Indie, stocks like AMD, although I don't have AMD. You know, of course, stocks like Intel even I think where it's at is a buy or an average in at the very least. But yeah, this is definitely another semiconductor stock to keep an eye on. I feel like it's very, very overlooked. People like don't even, people haven't even seen this one. People don't know about this one very much. But that's basically all I got for you guys. Another stock, not necessarily new. We have talked about this one a while ago, but it kind of faded from existence, and I think it's going to be coming back soon. So I think it's time to buy here under 8. And if it has an okay day tomorrow, I probably will still nibble at it and buy a little bit in, but I will be buying this one in chunks, in probably chunks of 3 to 5. Say, you know, if I only get half of the position that I want and then it pops, I might take my profits. But I do want to build up a position, so if this can just trade sideways or even trade slightly down, for me that would be preferable, so I can keep adding into my position. And if it takes off, I might just, you know, get what I get and then just swing it and play it that way, but we'll see how it goes. It's definitely time to take advantage of some of these smaller caps in this market lately. I mean, even Indie right now where it's at, I am averaging into that, and that's basically it. I mean, there's a lot of stocks out there, a lot of small caps specifically, that to me just, they're screaming deals. Now, of course, they could come down further. It's good to be patient, but sometimes you can be a little too patient and miss these deals, and before you know it, they're back up. So I will be averaging into this one, but that's basically all I got for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. I put out videos every single day, and check my previous video if you haven't. I'll probably leave it in the end screen here. But thanks again, as always, guys, and I will see you next time.